Well, if you have read the title of this video, then you know what it's all about. Brad from Wildfire Lifts contacted me a couple weeks ago wanting to discuss getting me a lift. Guess what? I'm getting a lift. Oh yeah. So without further ado, let's jump in the truck, head to Nashville. We'll go pick it up. My handy dandy assistant has let me borrow his truck and trailer. It's mighty nice of him. Like I've told y'all before, if you ain't got a handy dandy assistant, you need to get one because he's pretty doggone good. I'll be glad when I get my trailer fixed though. I just don't like borrowing people's stuff, you know what I mean? Get my trailer fixed and then we gotta build us a tow rig of some kind. I got several vehicles we got to get in the next little bit. Anyways, let's head to Nashville. Go get me a lift. Well, I finally made it here. Just went in and told them I'm here. They'll be out here in just a minute. Hopefully load me up and we'll get back to the house. Well, it appears that I now own a Wildfire lift. Yes, sir. Got her loaded up, got her strapped down. Let's hit the road. Well, we made it back in one piece. Let me get this thing back down into the shop, then we'll get her unloaded. I do believe we have an issue here. I don't think this trailer is going to come in this shop. No, sir. I done dug up a whole bunch of my little ramp there. Only thing I know to do is pull up and get kind of straight this way, and I'll have to get my tractor, and we'll just have to unload it piece by piece off this trailer and bring it in here. That's the only thing I know to do. I ain't sure my tractor will pick it up. This weighs like 2,700 pounds, and my tractor's not full drive, and it probably will make the back end light, even if it'll pick it up. And you know, I won't be able to go anywhere, so we'll just bring it in a piece at a time. Let me get my knife and whatever and go to cutting all this stuff out of the way. I'll get the little stuff in the shop, and then it'll be a few hours before I get any help. But when they get here, we'll get it in there, start putting it together. Lots of cardboard. Well, I got all the small parts out that I could. I could probably carry these, but this top runway here has got everything sandwiched. So I'll have to wait until I get help, and we'll bring that one runway in first and then just keep on bringing stuff in. But I'll tell you what though, they got it wrapped up pretty good. It ain't gonna get damaged in shipping, I don't think. A whole lot of bubble wrap. Let's get in here, speaking of bubble wrap. Well, I'm gonna clean the shop up first because it's pretty nasty. Once I get that done, we'll get all this stuff here unwrapped. And hopefully by then I'll have some help. We'll get this thing put together. Got the shop swept up, looks much better. I got all this stuff unwrapped from the plastic. I'll just show you what we got. I think those are covers over the locks. This is the mount for the motor and pump and all that. These fellas here are awesome. They're the casters that will allow us to roll this lift wherever we want it, even with a car on it, I think. Then these are the ramps here, and this is the motor and pump. I'm not sure what's in here, probably nuts and bolts and whatnots. Anyway, still waiting on my help. As soon as I get here, we'll bring everything in, we'll put it together. I got some help. My handy dandy assistant showed up. So we're fixing to try to pack this stuff in there by hand. Hopefully it ain't too heavy. We're gonna undo these 2 bolts here, undo them 2 bolts there, and take this top runway in. Then we'll go to getting the smaller stuff, and then we'll get that bottom runway last. Well, we have had a slight change of plans. This little fella here, it's a wee bit too heavy for me and him to be picking up. So we've unbolted it from these end frames. I'm gonna pick this up, just this runway here with the tractor. Hopefully we can maneuver it in there. And then this stuff here, we can probably handle it, and then we'll have to pick that bottom piece up with the tractor too. So let me go get the tractor started. Get that stick off there. Well, we are worn out from scooting this across the floor. So we're just gonna try to load this stuff on top of the bucket. My bucket don't tilt enough to actually put it on the bucket, so we're gonna put it on top of it. Well, as you can see, it's packaged up pretty good. They got her bubble wrapped very well. Please get my knife and we'll unwrap everything, and then I guess we'll go putting it together. I might have to watch the install video again because, you know, my memory ain't very long. Anyway, let's get it unwrapped. We'll start putting it together. We got all the plastic off of everything. Now what we got to do is our cross beams. See these pockets? Well, they got to go over these postices here. So we're going to lay them down, slide a post up in it. Then we got to stand it up. Got to do that same thing down here. Once we get both cross beams on, then we get to pick these light little fellers up with the engine hoist and then put them on there. Let us get busy. We got these sitting on some old wheels so we can get our engine hoist under here. We're going to use it to pick these up with because I can't get my tractor in here now. Anyway, let's get these set up. And then slide it this way. Oh yeah! Right there. Pick it up, pick it up. All right. We got our postices stood up. Now we're putting in these little nylon strips that go in the corners right here. You got one that's notched like that. It'll go on the corner where your notch is. It's notched out so that don't hit it. Just be mindful of that. We're gonna get these put in, and it's got little keepers that'll sit here and screw there. I'll show you when I get them on. Let me get all them put on, and then it'll be time to put these runaways on. Got all the little Teflon nylon pieces, whatever they are, in there. And here's the little keepers, just held on with a bolt, just like that right there. Now, we are fixing to pick this runway up and set it up here. And here is your thingamabob. It'll bolt here, and that's what you set your ramp onto, hooks onto there. So let us proceed to do that. We gotta do it here and down there, and then we'll do that other side over there too. Bring it through. Oh yeah, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. All right there. Come on up. Come on up, come on up. We had to pull our boom out to the next hole because we liked about that much. Raise it up high enough, so hopefully we will get it high enough this time. All right. Let's see if we can get a bolt or two in there. Now we got to raise it up a little bit to get these bolts in down here. We're going to scoot this over here, closer to it. Where are my bolts? Let it down there. Easy now, don't kill me. Wait a minute. We have one runaway on. Let's get the other one. You might be wondering what we're doing. Since we couldn't bring the whole assembly in as one piece, like you normally would do, we had to bring it in a piece at a time. We had to lay these on the ground. Well, if we'd have thought about it then, we'd have set them on something. We're having to do that now. jack it up, put a wheel under it so our engine hoist can slide up under it so we can pick it up. Just be careful because, well, we're just barely on the lip there. Alright, let's go do the other one. We are skipping ahead a few steps because it's late. He's got to go home because he's got to work tomorrow. So what we're doing, we're putting the motor mount bracket up here first, and then we're going to mount the power unit here, and then he's going to go home, and I will continue to work on it tomorrow. Alright, let's put this on right here. Harry. Right there. Sir.
I'm Harry.
Alright. Alright, both of you. We got quite a bit done tonight. I'd send him home after we got that done because it's late. He's got to get up and go to work tomorrow. We don't like a whole lot more being done. We got to run our cables. They all go up here on each post. I got a hydraulic line to run from here to over here. Got covers that go over locks. And, got to put my jack on. And I guess once we get done with all that, we can drive us a vehicle up on here and see how it does. Hopefully tomorrow it won't take too long and we'll be done with it. Well, we're back at it again today. Hopefully we can get this thing done up, get ready to use it. First thing we're going to do, we got to tighten these bolts up on the end of these runaways. It's pretty important. You don't want to forget them. Then we're going to run our cables, stick them through that hole up there, and got hydraulic hoses, a few other things to do. So let's get busy and get this thing done. All right, got them tight. Now we got to run the cables. Your ram is under this runway right here. Well, let me just show you. There it is right there. That's the end of it. All your cables are hooked to there, and then there's your ram running all the way back there. Cables are already ran around all their pulleys except for, like over there and over there. What we got to do, get on there and pull that ram out because it's fully retracted. Got to pull it out. That'll give us enough slack to get our cables up here. By the way, the cables run around this way, and then on this side of this one, don't put it over here. It runs like this right here, right this here. Goes right up there. Let me get that done real quick. I already cut all my wire ties off the cables. They keep them wire tied up. Cut all them. Now we're going to grab this ram, pull it out, give us some slack. Let's see if that's going to be enough right there. No, need a little bit more. That should be enough. Let me get up here and start running these cables. Remember, go on the inside of that little roller right there. Through the hole, the whoosher. And the nut, I think it said leave about 1 inch of room at the top for a final adjustment. All right, there's one side done. Let me do the other 4. What I'm doing now is putting this little feller through this hole. This is what you grab a hold of when you want to let it down. It pulls your locks out. It just goes through this hole right here. You got this nut you got to put on it. Like this right here. You got to thread it all the way up as far as it'll go. Then there's a rod under here that this has got to thread into. You got to slide it back and forth, get it to where you can see what you're doing. All right, now that I got this one started, there's another one I got to do at the other end. I'm Let me go do that and I'll be right back. Got the safety leakage done. That's what it should look like right there. This is what you pull on when you want to lower the lift, and you pull on it, it opens these locks up and lets it come down. It's pretty much the same thing on the other end, except for it don't have a handle. There's a long rod that runs down through here. You got to get under there and tighten some stuff up, tighten the lock nuts up. That is done. Now I can put these covers over these locks, so if I can find the bolts, we'll put them on. Then I got to run my hydraulic hose. I just pushed the ram back in to tighten these cables up because they were kind of flopping around and didn't want to stay in place. Now that I did that, get this here cover on. There's one. Let me do the other three. Got all the covers in place. I went ahead and run the hydraulics. All it is a bulkhead fit, and it comes through the runway here. You got a hose, clamp, hook the other end of your hose up to your pump and motor, and that's it. Got my jack raised up with my engine hoist here. Fixing to set it down on these rails. All it is it's got rollers. They sit right there on that track. Let me twist that around. We'll set that down and we'll move on to the next step. All right, let me see if I can get in here. Get this thing spun around. I'm assuming you want to turn it that way. I ain't real sure. That's where we're going to put it on anyways. Get her turned around. And I guess that thing there slides out. Well, how convenient. Let me hook that on that lip right there. Then I'll let it down. Here we go. I do believe that's it. Pretty handy and dandy. I'm changing out the air hose fitting because that one there, when it came on, it don't fit my air hose. Once I get this done, we'll hook the air hose up. We'll watch it go up and down. All right, here we go. That's as high as it goes, and it's got a lock for 1, 2, 3 positions. To make it go down, you just lift up on that and hit your release. Got a little air bleed over here that you have to open up, or else it won't go down. There it is. Let's go up one more time. It goes up pretty fast. All right. Let that down all the way, and I reckon we're about done. I reckon that's it. Other than doing a little bit of adjusting on these cables, and I completely forgot that I need hydraulic earls. I got to run to town and get some of that. When I get back, we'll fill that up, raise it up and down, get the air out. We'll do some adjusting. Just got back from Tractor Supply, and we are full of hydraulical earls. It takes about 2.6 gallons of AW32 or ISO 32. Also, forgot to show y'all this. Here's your wheel stop. That's what you run into to keep from running off the end of it. You don't want to do that. I put my rolling jack tray on here. I think it's rated to 3,000 pounds. It rolls back and forth, put your jack up there. You know, in case you need to lift the front and the back. Well, you got this jack and you got a place to put another jack there. Also, forgot to show you this. Like on my 4-wheel drive, you know, it's kind of tall. Well, you put that extension there, put that on top of it, and there you go. You probably lift it up then. Got this neat little storage area for them. I reckon that's it. I got to raise it up and down now to get the air out of the cylinder. So let me do that, and then we got to adjust the locks, the cables and stuff. Let me get all that done, and then I got to get that out from under there, and then we'll get a vehicle up on here. Fire in the hole. Just got to fill that whole cylinder up. See my level drop in here. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna take it all the way up All right, I believe that's it. Let me get this out and under there. All right, let me let it down all the way. Get all the air out of it. All right, now we're getting a bunch of air. Let me go slow with it. All right, this is really full of air now. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. Maybe the air will work out of it. And we'll raise it down a couple more times. Then we're gonna get a vehicle over. I tell you what, whilst we wait on that air to sort of settle out of that fluid, Dude is the first vehicle I'm gonna put on here. He's got a tire's been going down pretty quickly. So I wanna get him on the lift. We'll try the jack out, jack him up and take that left front wheel off. But he's been hibernating for a few months, so we need to get him started first. Let me get this tractor out of the way, then we'll see if he'll start up. We got us a water leak, terribly bad on this hood somewhere. Got water standing here and all down in there. We got to do something about that. Anyway, let me hit the throttle, see if I hear any gasoline squirt. Oh yeah, just a little bit. He may actually fire right up if the battery's charged up. Let me put y'all on the camera stand. Well, I forgot to hit record on the camera. I had to give him a little drink of gasolines. After that, he fired right up. I got a little bit of noise in the front end of this blower. We'll have to check that out sometime. But right now, though, let's get him in there on the lift, get it lifted up. Wait a minute. I forgot that I wanted to center this thing in the doorway there, best I can anyway. There's a very simple and easy way to do that. See these dollies right here? This will drop down onto this, which will pick the legs up, the post up. You can move her around anywhere you want to. That, to me, is the most awesomest part of this entire lift. When I saw him first do that, I thought, yeah, I want one of them. That's handy and dandy right there. Anyway, I'm gonna drop it down and show y'all how it picks it up. We'll scoot it over just a little bit, then we'll get Dude up here. All right, let's drop her down and raise her up. There you have it. He raises it up, I don't know, a couple inches. Let me scoot her over. I think that'll be all right. We'll raise it back up, get them things off of there, and then we'll be ready. I'll tell y'all what, that's awesome. It sure is. I can tell by the way my locks sound, you know, when they click into place, that we got to do a little adjusting on them. I'll get that later. As you can see, we still got, I don't know, probably 5 feet before I ever hit anything in the ceiling. Some of y'all was wondering, you know, why'd you build us so tall? Because of this right here. Anyway, let's get under here and look at Dude. I've never seen Dude from this angle before. let's check everything out real quick. Then we'll jack him up. I got a little leak right there. I think it's transmission, that counter shaft. I don't know if y'all remember or not. I put a little RTNV on the end of the shaft to keep it from leaking. Apparently that didn't work. Also, I need to do a little adjusting on the transmission leak. It shifts a little funny. I can do that now without having to be on my back. This is just awesome. It sure is. And we can get a better look at the exhaust system. There's them 2 old mufflers I had. They don't sound too bad. Anyway, let's jack the front end of this truck up, and this wheel here is the one we got to take off and see if we can find the leak. All right, let's get her jacked up. All right, I'm gonna let it down so I can get to that wheel a little bit easier. I found it. Valve stem's leaking. That means I get to break the tire down. Yay! Let me get my tools out and go to whooping on it. I wasn't really planning on doing no manual labor today. Today's Saturday. I usually take it easy. Ta-da! All right, let's see if we can air it up. Oh, my knees, oh, my knees. There she goes. All right, let's put it back on the truck. Before I put that tire on, I want to show y'all just how good a shape old dude is in. There ain't hardly any rust. The floorboard back here, it's kind of bad, but other than that, there's no real rust. I got a hole up there in the fender, and then got a little bit of something going on there. Other than that, he's in pretty doggone good shape. Also, if you have seen the revival video I did of this old truck, you might remember me mentioning some of Daddy's work on the steering box. Well, this is it right here. He cut a hole in the frame and he brought it out and boxed it in to get it away from, you know, hitting the motor. That's some of his handiwork right there. Eventually, maybe this year, I don't know, this is going to have independent front suspension. That way we can lower it down and better steering, better brakes and all that. And in the back, we'll probably do a 4-bar, 4-link of some type. Anyway, let's get this tire back on. Oh yeah! Remember me telling you earlier that I thought the end of the counter shaft in this transmission was leaking? Well, I don't think that anymore. Got to looking up here. It's wet all right through here. Our drain plug is leaking. It ain't sealing up no more. I'll have to get one of them, but see this lift, it's already helping me out. It's done found the oil leak. Going down. whoopty foily drive. She's a big girl. My tires is hanging off. Yeah, she's pretty wide. I got it on here, hoping to find my transmission leak. You don't see all this here wet? That ain't nothing but transmission fluids. Don't know where it's coming from. I cannot find it. It's not coming from up front. There's really nothing up here. Well, a little bit, but I think that's engine oil. I got probably a rear main leak in there. But where this transmission fluid is coming from, your guess is as good as mine. Let me look around a little bit and see what I can find. I found it, I think. Remember this truck, I did a frame swap. It's a 90 body on a 95 frame. The 90s had a 700 R4 transmission. The 95 had the 4L80E transmission with it. So I thought, well, I'll just use it because it's, you know, stronger and tougher than the 700. Well, I completely forgot, but I couldn't find a dipstick tube for the 4L80E. So I just adapted the 700 to work sort of, but not really, because watch this right here. That grommet, it ain't even sticking in the hole. That's the whole dipstick tube moving up and down there. Yep, that ain't gonna work. Most likely that's where my leak is. So tonight, I reckon I'm gonna try to find a tube. Might have to go to the junkyard and find it. I don't know, but that's gotta be fixed. That ain't no count. But see here, I ain't been using this lift an hour. It's done fixed or found 2 problems. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Inquiring minds want to know, will my little S10 go up on here? I've already tried it and it hit right here on the transmission cross member. Actually, there's some bolts hanging down about that far. Well, I got out and looked, and without my fat butt in it, it probably would go up there. So I decided, let's scooter forwards, because I had, you know, the end of the ramp was right here at the edge of the concrete. Well, scooted it forward because this ramp out here is pretty steep. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna set y'all on the camera stand. Let's see if that little fella will climb up on there. Well, we've looked at the underneath of the rest of them. Might as well look at the S10 too. I got a little leak of some kind right there. I reckon that's engine oil. Y'all remember when I put this new seal on it, you know, when I fixed it from hitting the deer? Well, it don't look like it's leaking anymore right there, but I don't know. Oh, that may be oil filter. Let's get our light up in here. I believe it's gonna be the oil filter adapter or a cooler line or something. Anyway, I didn't know that this was going on though. Look at my exhaust pipe. It ain't an inch thick. It's done flatten it from being lowered. Ain't got no ground clearance. I didn't know it was doing that. It scrapes right here. These are the bolts that were hitting, wouldn't let me get up on here with my fat butt in it. This cross member, it hits right here a bunch. Well, you can see from here to here, it might be 3.5 inches. That's the ground clearance I got on this truck now. And for those who are worried about lowering blocks on the old Forte over there, well, fellas, here's 4-inch lowering blocks right here. That may be more than 4 inch. I have to measure them. I think they're 4 inch. And they've been in this truck 10 or 12 years. Ain't had a minute's trouble out of them. It'll be just fine and dandly. Anyway, let me let this thing down and get it off of here. And we probably called it a day on this video. I measured the ground clearance. Remember where I said it looked like it had about 3.5 inches? Well, it's got 3 1/4 inches. So if you got a lowered vehicle, you can get it on here. Oh yeah. Just be mindful of this jack, because I don't know why going on it didn't bother it, but coming off, it caught it. I had to finagle things around a little bit. So just be mindful of that if you got a lowered vehicle. I'm proud to have this, fellas. Let me tell you. It's very simple to put together. You and a buddy, you can do it in a weekend easily. Like to thank Wildfire Lifts. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate it. Fellers, I will be 51 years old in May. And roughly 35 of those years, I've been rolling around on the ground. Yes, sir. That ain't fun. This right here, It's a game changer. It's gonna help my knees and back, and it's just gonna make everything so much easier and simpler to do. I'd like to thank Wildfire Lifts again. This is awesome. Proud to have this. Appreciate it. If y'all need a lift, check them out. wildfirelift.com. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.